We're back. Week 3 just wrapped up. On to week 4. But before we move on to week 4, let's do a little recap on week 3. So overall last week, I finished 5-5 on picks last week for an overall record of 18-13. Hopefully I got that right this time. We'll take a look at a few games from last week. First game we're going to look at is Vanderbilt at South Carolina. Vanderbilt blew the brakes off of South Carolina. Now, I know Lenore Sellers went out of this game with a head injury. We'll see his status for next week. His coach says he is optimistic he'll come back. But Vanderbilt put 31 on South Carolina's head. South Carolina had no answers. Diego Pavia, Eli Stowers. This team is filled with dogs, man. South Carolina didn't put up a single point past the first quarter. That's nuts. This is concerning for South Carolina. They got to figure their stuff out. They came in the season with a lot of hype, but big win here for Vanderbilt. They're ranked now, and it's looking like promising season for Vanderbilt. Next game we'll talk about is Clemson at Georgia Tech. Now, I'm wrong. I was way off. Clemson should be nowhere near the national championship game. They look like they don't even look like they belong there, right? Heinz King though threw for 211 passes, ran for 103 rushing yards. Georgia Tech, man, they were my sleeper team before the season came in, and they're looking pretty good, man. They upset Clemson 24-21. They were at home. It looked like a movie towards the end. Clemson, they were trying to make some plays here and there, but I don't know, man. I don't think Kate Klubnik's that Heisman promising quarterback that everyone was talking about before the season anymore, including me. They were able to get success on the ground, and I just don't know what happened, man. I just think their defense is kind of lacking now. Their offense was kind of stale. They weren't able to put up a lot of points on Georgia Tech, so I thought it was weird. Clemson, they might have to win the ACC to make the playoffs now. It's not looking like a good season for Clemson. We'll see what happens. Good win on Georgia Tech. Next game, Florida at LSU. Now, DJ Lagway, man, he is the MVP of this game for LSU. Every time, like I think it's since the start of the fourth quarter, every time Florida had the ball, I was like, okay, there's a chance they win. They're only down by 10 points. They're still in this. And then he throws a pick. 5 picks. And every single one of those picks was in double, triple coverage. Not a good throw. Not a good throw. That wasn't even on the defense. See, DJ Lagway just threw it right at him. So, DJ Lagway did not look good this game. Florida is not as good as I thought they were going to be. LSU doesn't look like the number 3 team in the nation. They got 5 turnovers and only 20 points. Gary Nussmeier, he was looking pretty solid, and then his pick was really bad. It was really bad. It was I think he was trying to get rid of the ball, and he forced it, and this went right to the hands of the defense. So it was not a good-looking throw. They were decent with moving the ball. I mean, their receivers were cooking us. Yeah, man, Billy Napier got to figure something out, man. Like I said, I think the only way to save this job is to make the playoffs, and if this keeps going, I don't think they will, man, because who do the Gators got next? They got Miami, Texas A&M looks good. That's 3 top 10 opponents right there, 3 straight weeks. And then you got Georgia. If you're a Gators fan, close your eyes. So, but LSU's defense did look pretty good, though. I will give them that. Their starting linebacker Weeks, he got ejected like in one of the first plays of the game. His brother had to step in for him. There's 3 of them, so I don't know. They got depth on that team, and defense is pretty solid actually. So we'll see if LSU loses to that hype of being the number 3 ranked team. Ooh, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. This one went down to the wire, man. Texas A&M, Marcel Reed looked pretty solid. He was able to get his way offensively. He didn't complete a lot of his passes, but when he completed a pass, it went for big, like, chunk yards. He went 17 for 37, completing less than half of his attempts, but threw for 360 yards and 2 touchdowns. Towards the end of the game, though, Notre Dame, they scored a touchdown, fumbled the extra point snap, and didn't convert. Texas A&M drove down the field, got it to 4th and goal with a few seconds left, scored from 11 yards away, and then made the extra point to win. Huge win there from Texas A&M. They're looking legit, man. But defense for Notre Dame is kind of concerning, specifically the secondary. But at least they used Jeremiah Love more this game. 23 carries, 94 yards. That's a good game by him. Le'Veon Moss was pretty good. Mario Craver, 7 catches, 207 yards, and a touchdown. They could not stop this guy. He averaged 29 yards per catch. So a huge win on Texas A&M. And if you look at the remaining schedule for Texas A&M, they're like in a good position to make some noise in the SEC. They got Auburn at Texas A&M after coming off a bye week. And then they got Florida, who does not look too good now. LSU at LSU. That might be their toughest remaining game. And then you got Texas, who Arch Manning ain't looking like it's it, man. He struggled a lot this last game too, man. He had 10 straight incompletions or something like that. So Texas A&M is making some noise. Watch out for them. Next game, we got the game of the week. We got Georgia at Tennessee. Now, dude, Tennessee should have won this game. The kicker, if he didn't blow the kick, it's game over. But, you know, college football happens. He missed a kick. They go to overtime, and Georgia is resilient. They went down 21-7 in the first quarter, but yeah, they did 21 points. Georgia didn't back down, man. Gunnar Stockton, he's a good quarterback. He actually is better than I thought he would be. 304 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and then Zachariah Branch is an explosive wide receiver, but Chris Brazel, 6 catches, 177 yards, and 3 touchdowns, got a hat trick. Joey Aguilar actually looked pretty solid himself. 24 for 36, started off the game on fire. They passed for 371 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. So, good win there on Georgia. Way to come back, stay in the game, and pull it off in overtime. Georgia is looking legit team. Tennessee looked real good this game too. So, look out for both these teams. These are really like top tier SEC teams. On to this week. Did my research. We're doing better than Final Five this week. Let's get it. First game, we got Texas Tech at Utah. Utah is the favorite to win the Big 12 right now. They're looking pretty good. They kind of struggled last week against, I don't know, Wyoming. They only had, I think they were only up 3-0 at half. But they figured something out. Actually won the game 31-6. Texas Tech blew Oregon State out of the waters, winning 45-14. This is going to be a battle of 2 good offenses. Now, Texas Tech's defense is really good as well. They did to the transfer portal, get some defensive linemen, and it's looking good for them. They got Moore at quarterback. He's thrown for 11 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. On the other side, you got a high quarterback prospect in Dampier. He's thrown for 7 touchdowns, rushed for 198, and another rushing touchdown there. Both these teams are looking really good. They could probably play each other again in the Big 12 championship game if both of them went out. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, Utah's at home. They're favored by 3.5, but I think the spread's going to drop. It might be close to a pick 'em towards game time. I'm liking Texas Tech a lot. They were like my preseason runner-up for the Big 12, and I might keep to that prediction, but Utah is just looking real good as well. I'm going to trust in Warren, the quarterback, with the experience with the team. They invest in that defense. I think it's going to pay off here. I like Texas Tech's team more. I think they're more, I don't want to say more proven, because Utah played, UCLA's buns. This is going to be a real test for both these teams. Both ranked teams, both ranked in the top 25. I'm going to go with Texas Tech. I'm going to trust in my preseason analysis and go with Tech here. They brought in a lot of transfers. They got more in that quarterback, a really good quarterback. Not to say that Dampier is not a good quarterback, but I'm just unsure. I don't know what to think about this Utah team yet, but I'm more leaning towards Texas Tech. We'll see. I think I'm going to be watching this game, so it's going to show me where Utah is in comparison to other teams in the Big 12. So give me Texas Tech on the road here. Next game, we got Arkansas and Memphis. Memphis is the 7.5-point underdogs in this game, rightfully so, I think, because Arkansas's offense is looking insane. You got Taylon Green. He has 866 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. Memphis, I'm not sure what to think. They've played, the best team they played so far was Troy, and Troy gave Clemson a run for the money, but Clemson doesn't even look all that good yet. So Arkansas, they lost a close one last week to Ole Miss. They lost 41-35. That's a close loss there. They were competitive, high-scoring game there. Arkansas's offense is looking nuts. Now, their defense might be concerning, so this game might be closer than a 7.5 point spread. Memphis is usually a program, but I'm trusting in Arkansas because their offense is really explosive. I like Taylor Green. I think they can do a lot with him. Just not sure what to think about this Memphis team either. And if it's a battle of the offenses, I'm going to lean towards Arkansas because they were putting up points against Ole Miss. So give me Arkansas here and Taylor Green on the road. Here we got SMU at TCU. TCU is at home and surprisingly favored by 6.5. SMU is a pretty solid team. They lost a close on the Baylor, and they were kind of slow against Montana State. Now TCU, we're still kind of gauging where they're at. They beat UNC, Chapelville, and they also beat some other team that I can't even think of. But both these offenses are going to be real good. They got Kevin Jennings. He's having a somewhat inconsistent season so far. And then you got Hoover, who's been throwing for 621 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interceptions in 2 games. So this game, I think, is going to come down to coaching. I like Red Lashley as a coach. I think Kevin Jennings got to figure something out. The defense has to figure something out for sure. They allowed Baylor to put up 48 points. But Sawyer Robinson's a good quarterback. Baylor has really good pretty good offense. Yeah, SMU got to figure out something defensively, or TCU is gonna have a field day offensively. So this game, I'm gonna trust in Rhett Lashlee to fix whatever's going on with this SMU team, and I'm gonna take them to win this game on the road. So give me SMU on the road. Next game, we got a big SEC matchup here. We got Auburn at Oklahoma. Now, I feel like this one could be high scoring as well, because on one side you have a Jackson Arnold who's been running the quarterback, all of a sudden decided to be a rushing quarterback out of nowhere. He's been playing pretty good, throwing for 501 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. They got weapons on that Auburn offense as well, with Eric Singleton Jr. and what's his name, Cam Coleman. Their defense has been pretty solid as well, allowing 24 points at most against Baylor. Oklahoma, on the other side, has the Heisman favorite right now, in my opinion, in John Mateer. He's been having a pretty good season so far, 944 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. And Oklahoma could be the more proven team here, as they beat Michigan by 11 points. Now, that was the team that was on the road with a freshman quarterback, so that could be one thing to keep in mind. And just looking at this matchup, I think Oklahoma is the better team here. They're at home. They're favored by 6.5. Auburn can keep it close. I can definitely see them keeping it close. This is a Jackson Arnold revenge game, so we'll see what happens if that motivates him anymore. But I'm going with Oklahoma. I think they have the better quarterback in John Mateer. I think they have the better defense. Well, their defense is pretty good. I don't know if they have the better defense. I'm gonna say they have the better defense here. And they got the home team advantage. So it's hard not to pick Oklahoma here. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma at home against Auburn. Next game, we got Tulane at Ole Miss. Both these teams are sitting at 3-0. Ole Miss is ranked as the 13th ranked team in the nation. Ole Miss is favored by 11.5 currently in this game. Wow. Now, Tulane is one of those teams everyone's keeping an eye on. They could potentially be that 12th seed group of 5 team that makes the playoffs. They got Jake Retlaff at quarterback, and he's been kind of have to carry the team a bit here, but he's playing a really good ball. 522 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Also 288, leading the team in rushing with 288 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns on 40 carries. Good on him there. They were able to win impressively against a solid Duke team, 34-27, and that score is closer than what the game actually was. So they're looking good. The only concern I have about Tulane is their defense. They kind of allowed Duke to keep it close. They allowed South Alabama to keep it close as well, only allowing them to win by 2 points. Now, Ole Miss, we'll see if Austin Simmons is playing this game. I'm not too sure on his status. Yeah, his status for the game on Saturday is unknown as of right now. But I know he started the last game, and he re-aggravated his ankle injury. So I think there's a low chance he actually plays in this game, but if so, their backup quarterback in Trinidad? I'm gonna say Trinidad. Yeah, their backup quarterback in Trinidad got the job done last week, so he did pretty well leading Ole Miss to a win over there against Arkansas. Now Tulane. With Ole Miss, they've been playing they played Kentucky and Arkansas pretty close. So we'll see how they do against Tulane. Tulane has been looking like a solid team. Not too impressive yet, but we'll see how they compare to a ranked SEC team in Ole Miss, especially one that doesn't have their starting quarterback. But their backup quarterback is suitable. I expect another high-scoring game here where both teams will put up points. Do I think Ole Miss covers the 11.5 spread? I don't know. That's a big spread for this game, in my opinion. But I'm going to go with the home team here. I think Ole Miss would have the more consistent offense. I think they'll be more likely to shut off or slow down Jake Retlaff, which is pretty much their whole offense for Tulane. So give me Ole Miss here at home. We got a huge Big Ten matchup here in Michigan at Nebraska. Both teams, well, not both teams actually. Michigan is sitting at 2-1. Nebraska is 3-0. Michigan is favored by 2.5 in this game. Michigan has a promising young quarterback in Bryce Underwood, who's been pretty solid so far, but against Oklahoma was kind of a little bit disappointing. But again, he's a freshman, first big game on the road. Wasn't expecting too much there. Now, this is going to be another road game here for Michigan, another test for Bryce Underwood against a tough Nebraska team at home. Now, Nebraska, they hadn't been tested yet. The best team they played so far was Cincinnati, and they kept it close. They only won that game by 3. Now, Nebraska has another promising quarterback in Dylan Raiola. He's been having a solid season. He's been able to take care of the ball. No turnovers yet. The key to victory for Nebraska is they got to slow down Michigan's run game and make it hard on Bryce Underwood to read the defense. For Michigan, I think the keys to victory for Michigan is really try to confuse Dylan Raiola, make him uncomfortable. I think you got to bring a lot of pressure on him. Force him to make mistakes. He hasn't made any mistakes yet. So, and Michigan's defense is a pretty good defense. So we'll see how these two teams compare. I mean, I think they're going to be a really good game here. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game for sure. Nebraska was my dark horse for the Big Ten. And I'm going to trust in the quarterback with the more experience here. I'm going to go with Nebraska. They're at home. I think they're a pretty good Big Ten team. Michigan is, I think they are a pretty good Big Ten team. And yeah, their defense has to be improved. We'll see how Bryce Underwood does against Nebraska. But I think Nebraska can do enough to win this game at home. So give me Nebraska. Next game, we got South Carolina at Missouri. Now, South Carolina, disappointing loss to Vanderbilt. I thought there would be a close game, but Vanderbilt just blew them out. They're not looking good. We don't know the status of Lenore Sellers yet, so we'll see what happens there. Missouri's at home, favored by 13.5, and they've been playing some good ball. I mean, Prabula, their quarterback, the transfer out of Penn State, having a pretty good season, 791 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. This Missouri team is not a weak SEC team, so you got to be careful with them. I'm actually going to go with Missouri. They're at home. South Carolina got to figure out some answers for them. They haven't looked all that great as of yet. And if Lenore Sellers, their top offensive player, is not playing, that's even more of a reason to pick Missouri. So I'm going to go with Missouri. They're at home. They have all the momentum right now. So we'll see how far Missouri does. I mean, they're looking like a pretty good team. Just taking a look at the rest of their schedule. They got UMass. Then they got to play Alabama, Auburn, Vandy, Texas A&M. Ooh. This is actually a big game for Missouri. If they can win this one, they do got a lot of big games left, though. They got Bama, Auburn, Vandy, Texas A&M, and then Oklahoma. That's 5 tough games there. They might surprise some people there, so I'm going to go with Missouri. Give me Missouri at home. Next game, we got the Big Ten matchup of the day, or of the week. We got Illinois at Indiana. Now, this game is huge because it could potentially decide who gets that 4th Big Ten playoff spot that a lot of people were projecting. They're either projecting Illinois or Indiana to take that spot. Most people are taking Illinois. But Indiana's here at home. Line opened up at 4.5 favorite for Indiana. Now it's at 5.5. Wow. I'm surprised it's going up and not going down. But yeah, Indiana, I think they're the better coach team. They got Coach Sig on their side. They got a transfer quarterback in Mendoza. Illinois has the chemistry in that team. Luke Altmaier's been there for a couple of years. Both teams got some solid defense. I think it might be a low-scoring game here. I am kind of 50-50 on this game. Unsure on both these teams. I think Illinois played the better competition in playing against Duke, and they blew them out 45-19. While Indiana's best game was probably Old Dominion, and they won that 27-14. So, oh man, I think it might come down to coaching. I don't know. I think both these quarterbacks are solid. It's a battle between two good quarterbacks. I think I'm going to take the side of Mendoza and Indiana. Give me Coach Sig to win this game at home. This is a pretty important game here for both these teams. They're both ranked. Illinois is ranked in the top 10 again, and Indiana's ranked 19, but yet Indiana is favored by 5.5. Kind of weird how that works out, but give me Indiana here at home. Next game, we got the game of the week in Florida at Miami. Now, this is kind of a revenge game for Florida. A rivalry game. See who's the best team in Florida. It ain't the Gators, that's for sure, man. If they played the same way they played LSU, they stand no chance. They played so bad, bro. DJ Lagway, they got to figure something out with him, man. Can't have him throwing 5 picks in a game. Florida was in that game a whole ton, and he just kept throwing it away. Miami's looking like a tough team. They're at home. They're favored by 7.5. Carson Beck's having a great season, passing for 812 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 picks. Their defensive line is nasty. They have huge wins over Notre Dame and USF. The Gators couldn't even beat USF. So with some college football math, leaning towards the side of Miami. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the team with the quarterbacks playing better right now. DJ Lagway has 5 touchdowns, 6 picks. That's crazy. I'm going to go with the team that has the quarterback playing with more momentum right now, the better coach team. Give me Miami. Their defensive line is nasty. They're probably going to cause havoc against this Florida team that's on its last legs. I think they're about to fire the coach. And if they lose this game, I think Billy Napier is gone. And Florida's season will probably be over. Or their playoff chances are probably going to be over. But give me Miami at home. Last game we'll talk about this week, we got Arizona State at Baylor. Both of these teams are some of the top teams in the Big 12 right now. Arizona State, disappointing loss to Mississippi State. They allowed a last-second touchdown to Mississippi State to win the game. Nuts. Baylor's offense is looking pretty good under Sawyer Robertson, and they got a really good running back there in Washington. Now, Arizona State also has a good quarterback in Sam Levitt and a pretty good wide receiver prospect there in Jordan Tyson. We'll see how both these teams match up. This might be a battle, whose defense is able to get more stops. Baylor's defense is not all that great. They allowed 38 to Auburn and 45 to SMU, but thankfully their offense was able to pull out the win there for SMU. Arizona State's defense has actually been kind of solid, only allowing 24 points to Mississippi State. So it's a good test for both teams. I just think Baylor's at home. I think Sawyer Robertson might actually be the better quarterback. He's been balling out. Sam Levitt, he's still a good quarterback, but this Arizona State team is just not looking like the same team from last year. Their coach even said, "Don't be surprised if we go 6-6, 7-5, or something like that." He doesn't think the guys are doing their best right now. But I like this Baylor team. I like what I'm seeing from them. I think they're a well-coached team. They're at home. They're favored by 1.5 here. I'm going to go with Baylor at home. And I wouldn't be surprised, man. Baylor could surprise a lot of people in the Big 12. This is their first Big 12 game, and they've been tested multiple times. So I think they have what it takes to compete with really good teams. So I'm going to go with Baylor here at home. All right, so that wraps up our Week 4 picks for college football this week. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. Make sure to check out our Instagram and TikTok for some more shorts there. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.